That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about The Passion of Darkly Noon, the second film. The second of 3 films by Philip Ridley that was released in 1995, and it is making its way to Blu-ray for the first time, courtesy of Arrow Video on March 24th, 2020.
My mom's birthday.
Oh. Well,
Not the 2020.
We're not getting this as a present for her.
No.
So Philip Ridley, he multifaceted talent, however has only directed 3 films from 1990 through the present. We reviewed The Reflecting Skin, which Film Movement put on Blu-ray for the first time last year sometime. Passion of Darkly Noon. You actually seen Heartless, his 2009 film.
What is that about?
It's about a man played by Jim Sturgis who believes demons are on the streets of London.
I do remember that film, actually. That's weird.
Which made great utilization of a Rilke line about how beauty is the beginning of terror, and that's all I actually remember from it. But I had to buy that on Region 2 because it's never been released here. Anyway, Passion of Darkly Noon. I remember years ago seeking out a DVD copy of this, so it's kind of a treat to have Mr. Ridley's works coming back into the fore because I think he's a very interesting, idiosyncratic filmmaker. That said, let's talk about what it's about.
Let's describe the story. So it stars Viggo Mortensen, Ashley Judd,
and Brendan Fraser.
So the film starts with Brendan Fraser kind of like running in the woods, delirious, and like passes out on like a dirt road. A truck comes by and a young man picks him up, takes him home, and he lives with Ashley Judd's character.
I don't think he lives with her.
Oh, they're connected.
They're
somehow.
connected, yeah.
Or like he works for her.
Mm-hmm.
She immediately takes a liking to him and says like she wants to be like family with him.
They have an immediate connection.
Immediate.
Yes.
He is smitten by her, for her.
Yeah,
how do you say that? Smitten.
He's smitten by her.
Whatever. But then she kind of like deflates him by saying like, "Oh, my man is coming back." Who's played by Viggo.
Viggo Clay, who often disappears, a mute who disappears for days on end when life gets him down, and they.
I wish
they live in this fairy tale like estate out in the middle of the woods in the deep south, where they make coffins that they sell to Quincy, played by Lou Myers from A Different World.
From A Different World.
Anyway, Brendan Fraser was stumbling through the woods because he is the child of these 2 people that were part of a strict religious cult that were murdered by the townspeople, and he has survived this trauma. And therefore we get this kind of strange biblical allegory for everything. It's like the Bible is a fairy tale, kind of, is how the film feels.
So things take a turn because he starts like hallucinating or hearing voices from God, or thinks that he's like...
And his dead parents.
Right. Mm-hmm. That he needs to make things right. Mm-hmm. Which culminates in him...
Well, because his repressed sexuality, Ashley Judd turned him on, and he's starting to... He makes like a barbed wire harness for himself that he straps over his body. It doesn't help that he runs into Viggo Mortensen's estranged mother in the woods, played by the wonderful Grace Zabriskie as Roxy, who tells him that Callie, Ashley Judd, is a witch and has put a curse on her son.
So he needs to destroy everything.
Yeah, basically.
So it culminates with him basically like attempting to kill Viggo and Ashley. The house gets set on fire. He appears to have some sort of powers.
Yeah, there's some, yeah.
There's a supernatural element kind of to it, but he's not successful.
No. So I read it as he's almost kind of, his name is Darkly Noon, that's why it's called that, because his parents put a pin in the Bible and rested on whatever phrase that is, because I don't care to really memorize that book, about through the passage about through glass darkly. Darkly Noon is his name. So I took that as the opposite of noon is midnight, he's dark midnight. And the mute Clay, who is a carpenter, is a Jesus figure. And then Ashley Judd is this bottle blonde, slutty Mary Magdalene figure. That's the reading I think they were trying to go for this, if you want to give it one. But
so I applaud the film's sort of story, tone, the vibe, like something unique. Unique if you don't think, if you haven't seen his other 90s film.
The Reflecting Skin.
Because it feels very much like that.
It is,
the cinematography.
Yeah. Also set in the South.
The color blocking, all that feels very, very similar. Aside from that, it does feel unique.
Yeah, the production design, Hubert Poole, who did Mandy with Nicolas Cage recently.
Oh.
I loved it. Also the cinematography, John Borman, who shot An Education and The Full Monty. The film has a very unique look. Something of interest though, because I trotted out my old DVD copy, this 2K restoration from Arrow Video.
Oh boy, here we go.
Everything is very...
I thought you were going to complain about the running time.
Oh, no.
Not being accurate.
No.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you can say
No, it doesn't matter. What you're going to say is more important.
Oh, everything's drowned. The light has been cleaned up to such an effect that everything's drowned and washed out. Especially...
Well, let's save that, because that's, I think, a big issue. But anyway, what do you like about the film?
I like Grace Zabriskie.
Yes.
And it's interesting seeing Lou Myers.
I think Viggo looks great.
Viggo looks great because he didn't look good in Reflecting Skin.
And I think he's kind of cute playing the mute because he clicks and whistles. And
yeah.
I think he's cute.
I don't think he's using ASL.
But no, whatever sort of...
Yeah, so look at the film, the soundtrack, and Grace Zabriskie are, well worth your time. But that's what I like.
So what doesn't work for you?
Oh God, Ashley Judd's hair, her performance, Brendan Fraser's hair and performance.
Yeah, those two are like, ooh.
They make it short to watch.
Actually, Judd more so than...
Yes, there's a couple...
Because Brendan looks good. I mean, he's in his prime. He looks like a sort of boyish, handsome...
Repressed Mormon.
But repressed, yeah. So he fits the bill. I just think his acting's not very good.
Oh, he's a stutterer?
Oh, yes, he stutters, and it's bad.
And I said that Mr. Ridley should have shot a couple scenes and said, we're just going to drop the stutter because you can't do it.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
It's
so bad. It's so bad.
Although maybe as a reflection of, because Clay is mute and he can barely speak, there's some parallels you could draw. I don't know. But
no, the worst part of this film is Ashley Judd.
Yes. Oh God, she has some sobbing sequences a couple times that are... Oh.
The only film I can think of her in is Double Jeopardy.
Oh no,
I like the film. I don't know that I like her, but I assumed that she was a decent actor.
She's okay.
So maybe she was learning.
This was 2 years ago. Her big breakout was Kiss the Girls in '97.
I don't know.
And Brendan Fraser had George of the Jungle, I believe, that year. So they were 2 years out from really exploding. But
her acting is not very good. So talking about her hair, so like you were saying, so you have the DVD from back in the day, and then there's this restoration. So you popped in the old DVD, and the aspect ratio is very different, and the tone of the film is very different.
Yeah, it looks a lot grittier.
The restoration looks like it has this it looks like what's the word when it's
sepia?
No, like overexposed.
Oh yeah, it does look overexposed.
Oh, it looks it's hard to watch, especially when you compare it to the original version, and it makes it even worse because everything looks very brassy and bright.
And her hair.
Ashley Judd's hair looks like cat urine. It is terrible.
Well, she shouldn't be blonde anyway.
She shouldn't be blonde anyway, and then her character doesn't shave under her arms, so you have this dark ass underarm hair compared to her cat piss yellow hair on her head. It's terrible. It's so terrible, but fun to watch.
Ridley wrote one of the main theme songs in the closing credit song. "Who Will Love Me Now" is sung by PJ Harvey, who's a notable singer. Yeah.
What would you give this film?
I would give this film 2.5 out of 5, and I would give. And you?
I would probably give it 2 out of 5.
Okay, yeah.
And that's only because it's kind of laughable to watch. Like that's the only reason.
It is. I wanted it to be more like Reflecting Skin, but they don't have a Lindsay Duncan.
But it's not Blanche.
That's true. Arrow Video's re-release, give 3.5 out of 5. There's a number of notable extra features. One featuring the cinematographer John Borman, a new visual essay, American Dreams. There's sharp cuts featuring the editor Les Healy, and then a 2015 featurette on the film Dreams Darkly.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, bye.
Bye.